Hi, everyone. Welcome to Insights with Lily Zhang. Hi, I'll just do some adjustment. That's better.
Nichts entspannt so sehr wie eine tolle Einrichtung zum Lesen.
Sorry, just hi. How's the voice okay? Just check. Oh, good. Hi. Good. So, hello, Marlene. Thank you. Hello, Leo. Well, today is September 10th. It's outside. Actually, it's raining and thunderstorm. Today I'm going to be talking about. You probably see the title. Germany already started celebrating freedom from coronavirus, which is good. Actually, it's good. I just got an invitation to go to a party on Saturday, which is today is Friday. Tomorrow. Yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going or not. It's called the Freedom Day party. So in Germany, January, because this week something happened quite important is Germany just passed total, they call it geimpft population, for adult population is about 66.9%, which is nearly 2/3 of the adult population. So according to theory, just over like really, I think this is just people geimpft, and I think Germany's got more than 4 million people. They call that genesen, means they recovered from COVID. So pretty much nearly 69 to 70% of adult population has been immune theoretically. So theoretically, Germany has already achieved herd immunity. That's why they've changed just last week. I think on Tuesday they've changed the limit or restrictions to probably minimum, because they've been using for the last almost 18 months the 7-day incidence. They call that incident as the infection rate. 7-day. They use their policy like restrictions according to that rate, like how many people get infected in 7 days for 100,000 people. For example, if it's over 100, the country basically will be locked down. Under 50, the country will be opened up. But last Tuesday, so that's quite a big milestone. They've changed the policy to basically ignore the infection rate, and they're going to only look at the rate of ICU or people going to hospital. They call it just hospitalization rate. I think that's a big milestone. So that's why people start celebrating freedom. I think in England and from other European countries, many countries, they already started celebrating freedom. But for Germany, officially, it's from Tuesday. It's really, I think, makes sense because currently Germany still have pretty high actually infection rate, even higher than same time last year, because same time last year they had probably about 5 to 6,000 infection, and this time it's about 15,000 people infected. But funny thing is 90% of that people being infected are unvaccinated. So only less than 10% of people are vaccinated. They call that break infection. So majority of people infected are people are not vaccinated. Also, majority, more than 90% of people going to hospital or went to hospital, ICU, even death. Majority of them, more than 90% of them are unvaccinated people. And also the age group has changed dramatically. At the moment, for Germans, at the moment, I only got data from Germany. For people over 60-year-old, only the infection rate for 100,000 people in 7 days, only about 19. And for people 0 to 19-year-old, the infection rate for 100,000 people is 150 people. So it's very high. But for younger people or children, I think in last 2 months, younger people in this age group, they die of coronavirus. It's about 29 people. And the same period, 46 young people die of drowning in water. So in general population, especially death rate at the moment in Germany is smaller than flu. And funny thing is, since coronavirus, not many people die of flu. So I think they probably all calculated into the coronavirus or COVID cases. So I think in this case, Germany is celebrating. So Germany at the moment, even the infection rate is high, but because the hospitalization rate is about 1.8 in 100,000 people, it's very low, because any time under 10, there's no restrictions. So that's why German people start celebrating freedom. I think it's looks like the coronavirus crisis is over in Germany. Well, fingers crossed. Well, last year they have the same similar optimism, because in summertime the infection rate cases are much lower, but since September, October, the cases increased dramatically. But the major difference from here now compared with last year is the vaccination. Last year, there's no vaccination. When cases start increasing, the government has to just add more restrictions, even knock down the whole country. But this year, with vaccination, although the infection rate is high, but hospitalization and death rate is very low. That means the whole coronavirus is gradually becomes like flu or slightly bigger flu. So this is a big, I think, call that victory is not overstatement. So tomorrow, I might go to the party, but still, in Germany, still have to wear masks in supermarket and probably some indoor area with many people. But life is pretty much normal. In Munich, they have the big auto show, car shows, so that's pretty good. In Frankfurt this year, next month, they're going to the Frankfurt book exhibition going to back to normal. Yeah, so life is back to normal. Finally, that's in Germany. So cheers, Germans. They call that Prost. I don't have a beer here. But I'm released. I think this is a good direction, and this is a good strategy. For those people, of course, there's still around 30% of Germans not vaccinated, but they have the 2G or 3G policy, G means geimpft or gelesen. Is either you recover from coronavirus or vaccinated, but you need this certificate to go to some, not everywhere, but most of the restaurants, hotels, airlines require you to show this certificate. I think it's fair for some reason, for some funny reason, some people just don't want to be vaccinated. But I think for those people, they either, because their rate of infection of the coronavirus is much higher, if you don't get vaccinated, they'll get naturally infected. So that's another way to be gelesen, another way to get immune. And also with the 2G or 3G policy, that means those people who are not vaccinated, you have to prepare to be less freedom than those people geimpft. I think that's fair. If you're not prepared, I think those people probably somewhat a little bit selfish because they, for whatever reason, they don't want to get vaccinated. But because other people, other 70% of people's brave, and they take this vaccination, they make the country achieve herd immunity, basically protect themselves, also protect these selfish 30% of people. So I think the 2G or 3G policy is fair if you're not going to do whatever, just a little shot to protect yourself and other people. You got to be prepared to lose some of your freedom. That's fair. You got to take responsibility for your decisions and actions, or sometimes probably stupidity. Anyway, you probably can see I'm the supporter of vaccination, but I'm talking too much about the people anti-vaccination. There's still quite a lot. Even in Germany, still 14% of people over 60 refused to be vaccinated. I think it's utterly selfish and stupid. Back to Australia and New Zealand. That's another picture. And my friend and family, I just I know they've been locked down for a month or two, even 3. It's so funny. I think it's totally stupid, the government. They when they started lockdown, like Melbourne, they had like 5 infection cases in a city of 5 million people. They locked down the whole city, or even the whole country. Actually, Australian border is not open. So basically in Europe, everybody, we talk about Australia and New Zealand, we just call them a big prison, which is pretty accurate. They just knocked down the whole country, like New Zealand knocked down the whole country, or Auckland, or for the whole country for a week or 2 for 1 single case. I think they're probably the most stupid government in the world. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, but actually, after the lockdown, the cases just growing up. Melbourne now, they have the infection of 300 something cases. So can't they see lockdown doesn't work? It doesn't work. You lock down and it worked last year for them. Once they lock down, the cases go back to 0. So they think this year still works. It doesn't work. But at least we see some light in Sydney. Sydney has been locked down for more than 2 months, maybe 3 months or 4 months. I can't remember exactly. But they start the vaccination pretty fast, and they already have the freedom map. They make their, I think next month, 23rd of October, that's Sydney's Freedom Day. So they calculate next month, they're going to achieve about 70% fully vaccinated, so they can open up. At least they have a map. At least they have a victory or freedom map. Melbourne still talking about that. Melbourne is totally stupid lefty government. So my family and friends in Australia and New Zealand, I wish you all the best, and I hope you guys will be out of just go get vaccinated. That's the only way out. There's no other way out. You can't kill the virus. You can't by lock down the country. You can't get rid of the virus. You have to live with the virus. And once you get vaccinated, the coronavirus will become like a flu. So I wish you all the best in New Zealand and Australia. The funny thing is next, I think 26th of September is going to be the big election of Germany. Oh, I can't vote, but it's just, I think Germany under Angela Merkel, my personal Angela Merkel, I think she's a pretty good scientist. She's calm and she handled crisis pretty good, and she's down to earth. But does she have vision for Germany? I don't think so. Does she have a strategy for future development of Germany? I don't think so. Is Germany getting better under her 16-year rule? I'm not sure. So Germany definitely need a change. They need a change of vision, strategy, and even direction. So, but look at their candidates for Armin Laschet and the Green Party's leader and the SPD's leader. Germany probably will keep turning left. Oh, I don't know. I just maybe they'll have they call that traffic light system or a new government. But I think that's a common problem of current leadership. Just like the U.S. election, we basically choose two bad apples. I think in Germany same. Just choose from three bad apples. I think these days democracy, of course, always have. It's not perfect, but the biggest problem is that we don't have good candidates for leadership. You just choose from two of the less bad one, or three, just one of the less bad from the three. There's so many reasons. I think majorly from my talking with my German friends is most of smart, best talented people going to private sector. I think in developed countries, it's quite common. And those people are not brilliant, not very smart, and they go to politics. Which I probably agree, because in politics, you don't need special talent, you don't need very high skill, you just need to be able to talk, just like New Zealand's Jacinda Ardern. The only thing I think she can do is talk rubbish, talk nonsense, but she talks pretty well. Nothing else she's capable of. That's why her highest praise is she's a prime minister, very good at communication, of course. That means another word, she can talk well. She knows nothing about economy. Actually, that's the typical labor. But I think the reason, I'm just deep thinking, the reason behind those leadership is we are probably into a very complicated world and a very complicated system. The other day I was talking to my friend in pharmaceutical. He's an executive of a very big pharmaceutical company. We're just talking about a very simple thing. I think what he exactly do is just doing invoices. I think, oh, that's quite simple. Just write an invoice. Takes me for myself, this kind of small business people, about 2 seconds to write an invoice. But takes them, the big pharmaceutical company, they have like 30 to, he used to have 300 people under him. Now he has, he's in charge of the whole Europe or globally. Because of the digitalization, his team is getting smaller, but his covered areas is bigger. But they need 30 to 300 people working full time to manage or standardize or make a process. Of course, it's a very complicated process system just to write invoices. Well, we just can see the different perspective. Just the simple invoices for a big pharmaceutical company, it's such a huge process and issue because their system is much more complicated. And another thing is when we look at the financial system, these days, most of the financial transactions is being done by algorithm. It's by computers or robots. I think just how many people, real people, can understand our financial system, I'm not sure. And it's getting more and more complicated. Also, I think my last program, I was talking about our challenges. That's why our leadership look so stupid, because the challenges and issues they face, basically they are global and they are very complicated system, like climate change and the AI and the biology and also nuclear program. It's not one country or one system's problem. That's the whole global system. Yeah, so another like issues like climate change is such a big company system. You're talking about the whole Earth, the climate system. So how can they understand, have the capacity to lead a nation? But we can facing that because moving forwards, the system getting more and more complicated. That's why Germans, they always complain about they have so many rules and regulations. Basically, it's in legal field, it's just getting more and more complicated. That's why they need more and more rules. It's not less and less. The old, doesn't matter, financial system or legal system is probably inherited from last century, but 21st century. The issue is a quantum leap. It's so much more sophisticated and so much more complicated. So I think moving forward, I don't know how many people can understand our financial system, our legal system, and our climate system. That's why we're going to more and more rely on algorithm and artificial intelligence. And if you don't know, most of the decisions these days on a higher level, they have to rely on computers. It's just like the coronavirus. They just rely on a computer model, saying how many infections under 100,000 people is controllable. And now maybe that's the computer telling them now move to the rate of hospitalization. That's how these days our leaders making decisions. Basically, I think more and more they're going to rely on computer modeling. Another word means algorithm, and themselves probably don't understand really what the issue is. Oh, okay. Welcome to Artificial Intelligence and the new 21st Century Challenge. That's why I think people believe in conspiracy theories, because it's just easy. Because if you this complicated system, we need judgment. Just it's no problem for us to get information, but how to process that information become a big challenge. That's why I think how many people, if you have to judge an issue true or false, you have to think hard, think independently, critically, then you got to check the facts. But conspiracy theories, they just tell you a story. And human beings, we like story. We grow up in stories, and stories are easy and very emotionally charged. So many people choose to believe in stories, believe in conspiracy stories, because that's appealing. They don't need to think. That's just story. And in a complicated complexity, you need a systematic thinking. But for a story, you don't need to think. You just believe that story. That's very comforting. And the stories, just like that's why I say it's very appealing. Well, from all of this, I think the big challenge we're going to face is there'll be more and more issues like coronavirus, the economics, the financial system, the climate change, climate system, the global issues. It's a more and more complicated system and need our brain power to help us making decisions. And actually, the bad news, we don't have that brain power. Our brain intend to simplify the process, make issue simple so we can understand. That's why I was talking about stories comforting, because it's much, our brain intend to make issues simple, and story is much simpler than thinking hard. But I think most importantly on our personal level is I don't expect everybody or even myself to understand all the issues. Nobody can understand all the issues. Doesn't matter if you're a scientist or if you're a political leader. That's why they don't understand the system, the issue. But I think we got to try our best to be able to tell what is true, not what is false. I don't have the big solution. I have a strategy, maybe I will try myself, is I think for this century, most important skills, people even don't know what skills you need in 10 years, how to teach kids these days what skills. Nobody knows what's going to happen in 10 years. But most importantly, I think the emotional intelligence and mental balance, the skills. Emotional intelligence, before I thought, oh, seems like my EQ should be high because I'm quite a balanced and happy person, and seems I can deal with anybody. But actually, when you think about emotional intelligence, I'm not talking about too much today. Maybe next time I'll talk just one topic about emotional intelligence. Actually, it's more about how to manage your negative emotions like anxiety, hate, anger, fear, all of those, because everybody has that, and how you manage those ones. And people believe in conspiracy theories or don't want to get vaccinated because they have all those negative emotions towards vaccination. They feel anxiety, they feel the anxiety, they feel the fear, or even anger towards that. Another one is mental balance, but that's another big topic. That's something myself, and I'm just sharing my insight with you. That's something I'm going to keep learning and focus on these two areas: emotional intelligence and mental balance. For mental balance, I try to do meditation every night. That helps, yeah. So that's my insights sharing with everyone today. I hope for my family friends in New Zealand and Australia, I wish you guys out of lockdown sooner. And and at the moment, The September is quite warm, so we have extension of summer. Doesn't feel like autumn. It really feel like summertime. So I'm going to enjoy more of the last summer days in Germany. So tomorrow I might go to the celebration freedom party in Frankfurt. It's called the Internations party, Freedom Day. Okay, so I hope you a very enjoyable weekend and wish you all the best. I see you next time. Bye bye.